Industrial milling transforms raw cereal grains into the familiar flours and polished rices that dominate modern kitchens. But the process is far more than a simple mechanical step. It fundamentally reshapes the nutritional profile, texture, and behavior of the grain. Understanding what happens in flour and rice mills empowers consumers to make choices that preserve nutrients, suit dietary needs, and maximize health benefits, while recognizing that some processing steps, when thoughtfully executed, can also provide gains such as safety, shelf stability, and fortification. In flour mills, whole wheat grains are first cleaned, tempered with water to facilitate separation, and then passed through a series of rollers that grind the endosperm into fine flour. During refining, the bran and germ, the parts of the grain richest in fiber, vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients, are removed to produce white or refined flour. This yields flour with a longer shelf life and lighter texture, ideal for pastries and bread with soft crumb, but at the cost of fiber, magnesium, vitamin B1, B2, B3, and essential fatty acids. Bleaching agents are sometimes applied to improve color and baking properties, although this does not restore lost nutrients. To counter these losses, enrichment programs add back selected nutrients, typically iron, folic acid, and some B vitamins, producing enriched flour that addresses deficiency risks without restoring fiber or other phytochemicals. Rice milling follows a comparable path. Brown rice retains its bran and germ, preserving fiber, vitamin B1, B3, magnesium, and antioxidants. White rice is produced by removing the outer layers and often polished, giving it a soft texture, but reducing micronutrient density. Parboiling rice before milling, as is common in industrial processing, drives water-soluble vitamins from the bran into the endosperm, meaning that even after polishing, parboiled white rice retains more nutrients than conventional white rice. Both flour and rice milling demonstrate that processing is not inherently negative, it changes nutrient profiles, and when combined with enrichment or parboiling, can mitigate losses. For consumers navigating these differences, label literacy is essential. Whole grain indicates that the product contains all three components of the grain: the bran, germ, and endosperm, regardless of whether it has been ground or shaped. 100% whole wheat or 100% whole grain ensures that all flour is from the intact grain, maximizing fiber and micronutrient intake. Enriched flour or rice indicates that selected nutrients lost during milling have been restored, typically be vitamins and iron, but not fiber. Products labeled simply as wheat flour or white rice are usually refined and stripped of the bran and germ, and while enriched, they lack many of the protective compounds and fiber found in whole grains. Practical shopping strategies help consumers make informed choices without sacrificing convenience or culinary goals. When possible, choose products labeled 100% whole grain or whole wheat to maximize fiber, antioxidants, and mineral content. For refined products, check for enrichment. Choosing enriched flour or rice ensures that critical micronutrients like iron and folic acid remain in the diet. Consider parboiled rice if you desire improved mineral retention along with soft, separate grains after cooking. For baking, blending whole grain and refined flours can preserve texture while maintaining a high fiber content. When in doubt, reviewing ingredient lists is revealing. The first ingredient should be a whole grain for genuine whole grain products, whereas refined flours often list only wheat flour or white flour. Storage and handling further influence nutrient outcomes. Whole grain flours are more perishable due to the oils in the germ, so keeping them cool and airtight preserves freshness and micronutrient content. Refined flours and polished rice are shelf-stable for longer periods but may oxidize over time, so using them within recommended dates helps maintain quality. Frozen or vacuum-sealed options for both flour and rice can extend shelf life without significant nutrient loss, supporting batch cooking and meal planning. The positive takeaway is that industrial processing is not inherently detrimental. It is a set of tools that can be aligned with nutritional goals. Refining and milling make grains more convenient, shelf-stable, and sometimes safer, while enrichment and parboiling help compensate for natural nutrient losses. By combining label literacy, knowledge of processing impacts, and thoughtful purchasing strategies, consumers can select products that meet taste, texture, and nutrient objectives simultaneously. Grains, whether refined, enriched, or whole, can all contribute meaningfully to health when chosen with awareness, and industrial processing becomes a partner rather than a threat in building a practical, nutrient-rich diet.